Okay, so I'm going to talk through quickly on the next steps in terms of casting now using the resin. You'll see there's a few splashes. It's already part of the production line. The first step is to treat the inside of the mould with talcum powder. That really helps with air bubbles because it's a surfactant, I think that's the right word, where any liquid actually disperses. The meniscus, I think, is the correct term in this context. It actually helps any surface bubbles to disperse because the talc is actually sucking and breaking down that surface tension. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically open up the mould that you saw before, sprinkle in the talc, and then get a brush and proceed to make sure that every surface within there gets a dusting. Yeah, that's stage one. Right, so this is oh yeah, very important. We've got a nice little flexible polythene cup here. Very important to crack out your previously poured resin. It just comes out quite nicely, breaks off there, so nice and reusable. Another essential element, scales, because it's quite important to, well, absolutely essential to measure every ingredient correctly. Little jar already prepared with my hardener in. Some slate filler powder. Doesn't look much at the moment, but when that's added to the resin it goes a beautiful, funnily enough, slate colour. And last but not least, and most importantly, the polyester resin. So as I said, the scales are used to ensure that you get the correct proportions to ensure curing. So here I go.
So now it's time to steadily pour the resin, very, very steadily, and I'm only pouring probably about a third of the amount that should go into the mould initially, because what I need to do is lift the mould and rotate it so that the resin is moving around inside the mould and reaching all those little tricky gaps and places where, if I didn't do this and give it a shake, air may get trapped. And then the final pour up to the base of the sculpture. Don't forget that what you're looking at here is inverted. And then when the resin reaches the top, I use a scraper just to level off the resin. It will need some finishing, but that just helps it stand level. And then I'm just taking a small little watercolour bowl there, a little Chinese bowl, and I'm spraying it with release agent. The reason for this is there's always some resin left over when you do these sort of things. It's better that you make slightly more than you need. And then with the release agent you can fill a little bowl with the leftover resin, and you've got a ready-made plinth just to pop out for future projects. So waste not, want not.
So there we have it. All being well, I've walked you through the process from sculpting in Chavant to creating the mould to pouring the resin, and next to me are a couple of the results, one of which is out of focus because I don't want the recipients of the reward to finally see or not finally, to see the work before they've actually got it in their hands, if you understand what I mean. This what I'm referring to here is the rewards that I'm making in return for support on my crowdfunding campaign for the show that got postponed by COVID-19. There's plenty of that on other posts and social media, my social media channels. Anyway, I did want to say something about anybody on YouTube looking at this and hoping for some insights. I'm doing it not as an expert, but I'm sharing because I'm predominantly a painter, a printmaker and whatever. This is a new line of practice for me. But I think it's useful for me when I go online and I see practitioners talking about how to do things, and quite often it's the mistakes or the little bumps along the way, but the show and tell that actually help you along the way as well. So I hope anybody watching this takes it in that spirit. I'm not coming and telling you exactly how to do things because I am not an expert in this regard, probably not in any regard, but one tries. So let's see what happens next. It's not an adventure that I'm suddenly going to put the lid on. I'll probably try and do some more for a show that I've got coming up next year. I've got a few more sculptural ideas that I've explored before in ceramic, and I can see that working with plaster, resin and chavant, there are other opportunities there to explore sort of low reliefs, still pictorial ideas, but in 3D. It's exciting. I hope everyone's well and keeping creative or invested in those things that make you feel more alive, because let's face it, there are terrible, terrible things going down. Hold on to those good things, and I'll see you in another video. All right, take care.